Welcome back. The fast-growing video platform Rumble keeps getting bigger. The Securities and Exchange Commission approving Rumble's proposed business combination with CF Acquisition Corp. The merger should take place soon after the September 15th shareholder meetings. The shareholder meeting, rather. Joining me right now is the founder and CEO of Rumble, Chris Pavlovski. Chris, congratulations. Great news for you.
Thank you, Maria. It's a pleasure to be on. Yeah, it's been great news. It's been a wonderful ride the last 2 years, and this effectiveness by the SEC is very exciting.
I want to get your take on what that means for Rumble in terms of what you do with the money raised and the new liquidity. But before we go to that, I've got to get your take on what we just heard. We had the lawyer for the whistleblower of against Twitter on, and they are pushing forward because they say this is a national security issue. Your reaction?
Well, yeah, like when you see the hack that happened last year with Twitter and accounts getting taken over, and what you see with the algorithm and how it amplifies content and de-amplifies content and how they ban users, they have massive implications, like massive responsibility, especially with the amplification that happens to make sure that things are done correctly. Like the worst thing, the most egregious thing that's happening, like we'll hear about users getting banned on these platforms, but the more egregious thing that's happening is the amplification of things that they want you to hear and the things that they don't want you to hear.
Yeah.
You see like articles that are not being shown up on the platform anymore, like the New York Post getting banned.
Yeah, the Hunter Biden.
But imagine how they're tipping the scales one way or the other, like amplifying it, making sure everyone sees a certain narrative and making sure everyone sees a different narrative.
But in fairness, isn't that what every media outlet does? The New York Times has its point of view. Fox has its point of view. CNN has, et cetera.
Absolutely, but we're talking about a platform that's claiming to be fair. That's claiming this to be neutral.
They're claiming to be the public square.
Exactly.
They have blanket liability protection from Congress.
Yeah, that's great point.
Traditional media companies don't.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, and that's why they need to be fair. They can't be a publisher where they weigh the scales like that. That's the whole point of the 230, is that we're expecting these platforms to treat everybody fairly, whether it's chronological, whether it's an algorithm. It's going to have to be fair. You can't tilt the scale.
Well, without Rumble, without Truth Social, we certainly would not have heard President Trump's side of the story about these classified documents and a raid on his Mar-a-Lago property. So thank you to Rumble and to Truth Social for actually giving people an opportunity to see the other side, rather than just relying on these companies that claim to be a public square and a bulletin board, which they're not.
Yeah, it's the fundamental aspect of a democracy, is being able to, allow to hear both sides of the story, make up your own opinion. We're all adults. We should be able to hear all sides of the story, whether we agree with it or whether we disagree with it. I just cannot believe that we're in a state of affair where we shouldn't hear this side of the story.
Well,
it's not good for us to hear.
I mean,
and Chris, so there is this internecine debate on the right about the state of Section 230. Would removing it have a chilling effect where the only website you can get is the New York Times? Do you think Rumble's success is a testament to the fact that the only way to undercut Twitter is around them, not through changing the law? Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to Section 230, that's a real important legislation for companies that are acting in good faith, that are not acting like publishers. Like, once you act like a publisher, I don't understand why 230, that immunity is there for them. Like, why would that protection be there for a company that acts like a publisher and starts to say, hey, this needs to be watched more than this.
Yeah.
This is what you should see.
And then they're not transparent about how they actually go about it. But I want to talk about Rumble for a minute. What are you raising, $400 million? You also launched the beta version of Rumble Ads. Tell us about that and where the growth story is for Rumble.
Yeah, so with the merger with CFVI, we're looking to raise a $100 million pipe and $300 million through the SPAC. Depending on the redemptions, we'll see how that goes around September 15th. So really looking forward to that, but also extremely excited to have launched Rumble Ads. Rumble Ads is, I've been in this space for 20 years, more than 20 years, and I've watched Google kind of own that space. Google Ads, Google AdSense, and you don't really have an option. You're stuck like having them broker all the ads, and it's really exciting to be able to offer a choice now to companies and also to publishers. We just announced yesterday that Truth Social will also be running through this ecosystem. So you're kind of seeing an ecosystem kind of emerge now to not only allow everyone to have a voice, but also having the ability for companies to choose and select audiences that are more in line with their businesses.
And you'll be able to go up against big tech? I mean, with all the strength and money and power on big tech, will you be able to?
I think we're pretty much we're there.
Yeah.
We just reported 35 million users in the United States in June of 2022. That's at least 15% of YouTube's market share in the United States. They're at like 200 million around there. So
Terrific.
That's pretty compelling. That means we have real audience, real size, and we're at 52 million globally. So we're really making a real run here.
Well, I am one of those 52 million on
Yes, you are.
Rumble, and I am one of those members on Truth Social, and I'm happy about it. It's a great experience. Chris, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good to see you. Chris Pavlovski joining us.